We are past the halfway point of the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games as Saturday rolls on here at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison, Wisconsin, as people are filing in to the Coliseum to take in test number 8. I'm Sean Woodland with the second fittest woman in the 35 to 39-year-old division, Stacey Tovar, and Nikki Brazier's down on the competition floor. It's time to work fast and recover faster.
2 intervals for total time. 2 rounds of 21 box jump overs, 20-inch on the box, 15-calorie row, 9 burpee box jump overs, 36-inch box. Rest at the 6-minute mark. You go again. 2 rounds of 9 burpee box jump overs. This time 36 inches first. 15-cal row, 21 box jump overs, 20-inch box.
Recipe for success delivered by Trifecta. What will you be watching for here in this test, Stacey?
More speed is more rest. However, you cannot redline on the way out.
Ten women in this first of 3 heats. Kelly Baker is in lane 4, and she wasn't even supposed to be here today. And for more on that, here's Nikki Brazier.
That's right, Sean. It is a real Cinderella story for Kelly Baker. She came in below that cut line, but ended up moving up into a spot today because of a withdrawal. In the run this morning, she took 8th place. That moved her up 7 spots into 23rd. Now she's only 11 points behind today's cut line, and she should do pretty well in the Olympic lifting event later on this afternoon. Let's see how she does with these intervals.
There is Kelly Baker, who had her stuff packed up last night, had to unpack and get ready for at least one more day of competition. So 21 box jump overs at 20 and 24 inches to start us out. There are 180 total scored repetitions in this test.
You're seeing 2 different techniques here, Sean. Some are jumping over the box and just kind of pivoting off, and others are jumping on top of the box and stepping down. We'll see which one ultimately favors and saves their legs in the long run.
And all the athletes are onto the rower. You can level up your performance and get 20% off standard or elite membership at wildhealth.com. Use the code CFGAMES.
The rowers are set to a damper of 5 and the foot pads at a setting of 3. So the athletes really don't have a choice. If you're a shorter athlete with a smaller foot and you prefer a lower setting on the pad, you might be out of luck. You might just have to take what you get here. The damper, however, is set at a 5. I think that's favorable for all athletes. However, if you are a longer, taller, stronger athlete, you might want some more output and a higher damper.
Sydney Wells is going to be the first woman off of the rower and onto those burpee box jump overs, 36 inches on that box. So their hands can touch the box. They just cannot swing their feet out and around.
This is just a game of getting up off the floor, although you don't want to, and getting up and over the box. You want time to rest here. But you gotta move.
In the middle of your screen. Neal in 22nd place overall. We cut to 20 athletes after tonight. We only have 2 tests remaining, including this one, until we make that cut. Sydney Wells is now done with her 9 burpee box jump overs. She has moved on along with Shelby Neal to the 21 box jump overs.
And Sydney Wells was right on that cusp line last night. She's currently sitting in 24th. We cut to the top 20 after tonight, so she knows where she needs to push the pace here. She has to stay above Shelby Neal there, Caroline Stanley, Amanda Barnhart, all on the look to the outside in order to make the cut tonight.
Just saw Caroline Stanley and Amanda Barnhart right now, 28th place overall. She's got a lot of ground to make up, as Sydney Wells and Shelby Neal are both to the rower now. Bailey Rail is out there as well. She's on the rower, and Caroline Stanley. And Rebecca Biddison has got herself situated on the C2, and Abigail Dolan. Alexia Williams and Christine Colbrander are the only two women still working on the final set of 21 box jump overs. And now 15 calories on the rower at the 81 rep mark. They'll be done, and then 9 final Burpee box jump overs, and then they will rest for the remainder of the 6 minutes. Your total time in the 2 intervals is your score.
Shelby Neal there. And Sydney Wells battling it out on the row. Just knowing that there's only 9 Burpee box jump overs in sight is a breath of fresh air, so it's just transitioning out of that rower and getting right to work, knowing you have a little bit of rest there.
Shelby Neal and Sydney Wells are even. Here comes Carolyn Stanley in 3rd place in this first of 3 heats. 90 total reps is what they need to complete here. Now, Kelly Baker moving to the box jump overs as well. Wells and Neal each with 5 reps remaining now. Now, in the event that an athlete gets capped in this first interval, they will have to complete all the work before they can start their second one. So now Shelby Neal is in. And Sydney Wells is there. So 4:20.41 seconds for Shelby Neal. Carolyn Stanley is in at 4:27. And there's Rebecca Vittesen. There's Christine Colbrander. She and Alexia Williams are the last 2 women out on the floor, as they will now try to recover. At the 6-minute mark, we will start again.
As an athlete, you're just thinking about big breaths in through the nose and forceful exhales out. You're trying to think about whether or not the strategy that you approach this first part worked or not, and how you may adjust. Quick replay here. It was Shelby Neal down there in lane 6, and Sydney Wells right next to her in 7. Almost rep for rep here off the rower at the exact same time. They use the exact same approach on the Burpee box jump overs. Just get up off the floor, get over the box as quickly as possible. In the end, though, Shelby Neal snuck out, taking the lead on this first part.
Sydney Wells, after the run this morning, take a look at the top 5 times in that first interval, moved herself up to 24th place overall. She was the last woman in 30th place. Still has to make up some ground to survive the second cut.
These athletes train interval work, Sean. They train back-to-back scenarios like this, work, rest, 1-to-1. Maybe every 3 minutes you're going again. They're trained for this. They're ready for this.
So there's a little bit of a scoring problem here, so they're going to reset the clock. So now these women are actually getting some extra rest. One of the athletes may have tripped the timer inadvertently. So everyone on the floor right now needs to thank that athlete for buying them some extra rest.
Isn't that the truth? Amen. Okay, now it'll be interesting to see who can actually stay consistent. Will we see Shelby and Sydney battling it out there in the end? Caroline Stanley, I'm a farm girl at heart, so I'm gonna give my farm girl some love. She just loves that grunt work, man. She rides horses, she wrangles the cattle, she likes to ride the 4-wheeler. Hey, that's my kind of girl. Southern love right there. She knows how to work, is what I'm saying. She's just gonna work until she gets the job done. So we'll see if she can keep the pace and push the pace here a little bit, as it looks like so far so good.
Kelly Baker was one of the first women to get to the rower on the way back. And now 15 calories to complete.
And believe it or not, this is where they might be resting. However, they still have to push the pace, but they can at least catch a little bit of a breath here, really rely on a strong leg drive and a hard finish at the chest there with the handle, and recover in.
And there is Kelly Baker, who moved up to 23rd place after the 5K run.
I mean, what a story, Sean. She gets a text message or an email at 11 o'clock last night saying, hey, unfortunately, one of your athletes withdrew due to an injury. We're taking the top 30. Are you ready to go? Of course she's ready to go.
Well, Shelby Neal has taken the lead now here in this second interval. She's in the middle of the floor in lane number 6. 21 box jump overs now.
And you see Shelby Neal kind of jumping into the back of the box, allowing her to have a quick little pivot and a short little step off the box rather than staying tall. You'll see Sydney next door there in lane 7. She's staying a little bit more upright, which is less taxing on the legs. However, it is a little bit slower pace there.
Kelly Baker now is back in front along with Shelby Neal. These are your top 2 in this second interval. Rebecca Vittesen is now moving up along with Bailey Rail in the blue on the left side of your screen. Now Sydney Wells making her way to the Burpee box jump overs. 9 reps they have to complete here. We add the total of the 2 times in these 2 intervals for the final score. And after this, it's 15 calories on the rower.
And you can see Shelby there crawling over the box, whereas Kelly got off first. She was just hopping over.
The top 3 right now in this interval, Kelly Baker, Shelby Neal, and Bailey Rail. Rebecca Vittesen and Abigail Doman are into the rower, and now here comes Amanda Barnhart.
I don't want to say it, but there's a potential there that Shelby may be losing a little bit of gas. Her power output doesn't look quite as strong as Baker's there looks on the rower. And that's just the compounding effect of that getting out of the gates hot, but you know, having more in the reserve when it counts in times like these towards the end of this workout. Hopefully she can make a little bit up on that Burpee on the box jump over there at the end.
Kelly Baker through 66 now to 90 total reps here in this second interval. Her opening time is 4:21.02 seconds. She was a little more than a second behind Shelby Neal, who had the top time in April 1.
And here we go. You can see Shelby turning and facing the box. Kelly's kind of pivoting a lateral box jump over there. A little bit faster on the transition, a little bit quicker with each and every step and hop.
21 reps here, then it's across the finish line. And Kelly Baker got to this portion of the test a little bit ahead of Shelby Neal. And Neal had about a 1 second cushion on her after the first interval, and it's going to be Kelly Baker who gets across, and that looks like she will make up that deficit to Shelby Neal. And we'll have to wait for the total time here, though, as now Rebecca Vittesen is in, and Bailey Rail. Abigail Doman is in. Kelly Baker at 4:20.88 seconds should have the top time. Around 8:45 total as Sydney Wells is across. That's unofficial for Kelly Baker. And now Carolyn Stanley is done, and that leaves Alexia Williams as the last woman on the floor, and then she will come in. Now we will wait the total times to find out who has the top time, but we do believe it is Kelly Baker who will be around 8:45 unofficially. Kelly Baker was supposed to be a spectator at this point. Now she set the top time with 2 heats remaining, and she is with Nikki Brazier.
Kelly, last night you were cut.
Yeah.
And now, because of an athlete withdrawal, you are back in the competition and charging up the leaderboard. What does it mean to you to be back in the game today?
Yeah, had semifinals. The ball bounced in my court at the very end, and I was at peace with it yesterday. Like, that's sport, but I don't know, God's great, and I got a second opportunity, so I'm gonna give it my all.
What are you telling yourself going into the final test of today?
I had a burger and a beer last night, and if that says anything, I think that's gonna give me a little bit more weight on the barbell, so we'll see.
Congratulations, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
The burger and the beer is apparently working out for Kelly Baker at this point, as she now has our top time. We're waiting on the official score for her. 1 heat down, 2 heats remain here in Test 8 for the women at the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games. Test number 8 continues here for the women at the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games as we are back inside the Coliseum at the Alliant Energy Center. Thanks for being with us, everybody. I'm Sean Whittled with Stacy Tovar and Sticky Razor down on the competition floor. Test number 8, it's all about how hard you can work and then how fast you can recover.
2 intervals for total time. 2 rounds of 21 box jump overs, 20 inches on the box, 15 calorie row, 9 burpee box jump overs at 36 inches. You rest until 6-minute mark. Then 2 rounds of 9 burpee box jump overs, 15 cal row, and 21 box jump overs.
Recipe for success is delivered by Trifecta.
More speed is more rest. However, you don't want a red line on the way out.
Lane assignments here for the second of 3 heats. And in lane number 1 is Sayar Kaya out of Turkey, who is having a heck of a competition and is in the running for the best ever finish for a woman out of Asia.
36 seed coming out of semifinals has actually improved as the NOBULL CrossFit Games have been going on. 20th in the ride, 32nd in the pig chipper, 26th inverted mentally, 31 in the alpaca redo, 14 ski bag, 9 Helena, and 9th in the 5K. Top 10 finishes right there back to back.
You saw Olivia Kerstetter, who right now would be the last woman to survive the final cut. 20th place overall for Kerstetter, right side of the screen as the athletes work through their 21 box jump overs. Karin Freova and Elisa Fuliano, along with Annie Thorstadter and Paige Powers, head to the rower. Paige Siemens is there, as is Kerstetter. Now Fuliano getting to work.
And you see none of these athletes are tightening that strap, Sean. They're scooting right in and getting right to work. The damper setting is set to a 5. And the foot pad is set to a 3. So if you're a shorter athlete, there's no time to mess with the pad. It is what it is. You're just going to be given what you've got. But a longer, stronger, taller athlete may want to quickly adjust the damper if they have the effort to do so.
Emma Tall and Elisa Fuliano are on the left side of the screen. Tall with the black top is your leader, along with Annie Thorstadter, who's going to get to those 9 burpee box jump overs, along with Karin Freova.
Annie, one of the taller athletes in the field.
Make that Emma Tall, pardon me, in the blue.
36-inch box jump, burpee box jump over, no problem for her.
Annie Thorstadter coming in 12th place overall. 403 total points. She's only 2 points back. Danielle Brandon for 11th, and then Annie Thorstadter now is on to her second and final set of box jump overs. 21 reps here.
Now you'll notice Annie in lane 6 there, staying nice and upright. Danielle Brandon right behind her. Emma Tall also doing the same.
Annie Thorstadter through 60 of the 90 reps here in this first interval. The 66 rep mark. She'll head back to the rower. And now Annie Thorstadter leading heat number 2 here. Still waiting on an official time for Kelly Baker out of heat number 1, but we believe the total time for her was around 8:45.
And I Sean, heat 1, when they got through these first 2 rounds, had a little more than 90 seconds to rest.
4 minutes, 20 seconds from Shelby Neal was the top time in the first interval.
And Annie there with just 5 more calories to go. She had no problem getting up and over the 9 burpee box jump overs, 36-inch box. I expect her to potentially take this first part here.
Forrest daughter is done. 3 minutes and 22 seconds have now gone by. Now here comes Emma Carey, who's moved into second place behind Thor's daughter. Now Emma Tall and Karin Freyova, top of your screen. Tall in the blue, Freyova in the black.
Emma Carey there in lane 8, kind of walking over on her knees. Annie in lane 6, staying on her feet. A little bit faster transition over the box.
Annie Thorisdottir is in, and she'll come in at about 3:57. 3:58.38 seconds for Thorisdottir.
And Emma Carey snuck in second. Emma Tall, third.
Less than 2 minutes to go before we hit the 6-minute cap. Tall, Powers, and Freyova are all in. Now Daniel Brandon is across. Sarah Kaya and Lisa Fuliano are the only 2 women left on the floor. Kaya's on her final rep.
So here Kaya coming all the way from the Asia semifinal. 36 seed out of there. Trains out of Oslo, so many games athletes train out of there. Coached by CrossFit Games vet Kristen Holte.
Kaya gets in at 4:44, and Fuliano is in at 4:48. Annie Thorisdottir right now, the top time we've seen in interval number 1, 3:58.38 seconds. Emma Carey is right behind her, 4 seconds back, followed by Tall, Powers, and Freyova. I'll send it down to Nikki Brazier on the floor.
Remember, this is going to be a sprint once we give them the cue to go.
Guys, I am seeing a lot of these athletes looking left, looking right, especially when they are on those rowers, trying to get a feel of where their competitors are against them in these intervals. They oftentimes talk to us about really running their own race, putting blinders on, not paying attention to what the women on their left and right are doing. But when there is no room for error, when there is no time to take your foot off the gas, a lot of these athletes seem to be adjusting on the fly.
1 minute.
Taking a quick big breath in, nice sip of water, choosing to stay on her feet rather than some athletes you saw sitting. Here in your mind, you're just kind of thinking, gosh, should I come out with the right strategy? What was everyone to the right and the left doing? Or am I going to stay in my lane and just roll with what worked those first 2 rounds?
So in order to make things even from heat number 1, they have added some rest for the athletes here. Because in heat number 1, there was a bit of a timing snafu. A chip got tripped accidentally. They had to reset some things. So a little additional rest has been added here in heat 2 to keep things equal across this test. And we are cutting down to 20 athletes here, and Sarah Kaya is on the right side of that line right now, but needs to do some work over these final 2 tests to keep herself safe. Annie Thorisdottir had your top time out of interval number 1 at 3:58.38 seconds. And now we go through this test in reverse order, starting with the 9 burpee box jump overs.
And middle of your screen there, the leader of the first 2 rounds, Annie Thorisdottir.
Emma Carey, who was among the first women to get back to the rower. Thorisdottir was right behind her, so much closer here at the start of this second interval than it was at the end of the first. Lisa Fuliano on the left side of your screen.
Which is interesting, because Fuliano there on the left side of your screen was actually one of the last athletes to finish the first 2 rounds. And Emma Carey there on your right side, lane 8, was one of the second to finish. We'll see who recovers the fastest.
$15 here, the 24 rep mark. They will move on to these 20 box jump overs, and it's Emma Carey, Annie Thorisdottir, and Emma Tall, your top three.
Two different techniques being used here. You see the squattier jump versus the taller step over by Annie. So Emma squatting, Annie, lane 6, staying nice and tall.
Paige Powers there in lane 7, middle of your screen, and under green shorts and blue shoes. Going through her 21 box jump overs as well. The 45 rep mark. It's back to the 9 burpee box jump overs at 36 inches. And there goes Emma Carey in the lead here on the second interval. She had about a 4-second deficit on Annie Thorisdottir at interval number 1. And now Emma Tall has moved in the second in the all blue towards the top. Annie Thorisdottir in the middle of the screen. And here come Freyova and Danielle Brandon. Now Semenza and Kerstetter moving up. Emma Tall's in 13th place overall, so very much on the right side of that cut line, trying to get herself into the top 10 and possibly into the final heat. Emma Carey is your leader as she goes back to the rower now for 15 more calories.
Wow, she made up some ground being a shorter athlete against a 36-inch box. She made up some ground there. Just got down off the floor and up and over the box as quickly as she could.
And she was more than erased that 4-second deficit on Annie Thorisdottir as Emma Tall, Danielle Brandon, and Annie Thorisdottir join Carey at the rower. Here come Paige Semenza and now Katia Freyova. Paige Powers and Olivia Kerstetter, along with Sarah Kaya getting into the rower. Kaya towards the far end of the floor in the all blue. Now every woman on her final 15-calorie row.
Emma Carey there with the NOBULL sweatbands on her wrist, gets off first.
21 box jump overs here for Emma Carey. She was second in interval 1 with a time of 4:02.46 seconds. Emma Tall is now second. Here come Brandon and Thorisdottir at the same time. But Danielle Brandon was about 18 seconds back at Thorisdottir in the first interval. So Thorisdottir has a bit of a cushion to work with here when it comes to her battle with Danielle Brandon. Emma Carey's done, and she is in, and Emma Carey in 3:59.21 seconds. So Emma Carey is going to have the new top time going into the final heat. Emma Tall is across.
And just what we expected, Sean. Director of the CrossFit Games, Adrian Bosman, said he wanted to see sub-4. He got it.
Danielle Brandon is in, and remember, Danielle Brandon had to make up 18 seconds on Annie Thorisdottir to beat her in this test. Now Thorisdottir is in, and now Freyova is in as well. So Brandon picked up 10 on Thorisdottir, so Thorisdottir will have a better total time than Danielle Brandon as Kerstetter and Powers are across along with Sarah Kaya. So Lisa Fuliano is the last woman out on the floor. Emma Carey will have the top time going into the final heat.
Emma Carey improved the further along she got into this workout. Her first 2 rounds were a little over 4 minutes. Her final 2 rounds, under 4 minutes. So impressive. She just got right to work and didn't stop. Saw the finish line in sight and nailed it.
Well, unofficially 8:01 the total time for Emma Carey. 1 heat remains here in Test 8 for the women on day number 3 of the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games. We are set for the final heat of the 8th test for the women here at the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games. I'm Sean Woodland with Stacy Tovar. Nikki Brazier is down on the competition floor. Thanks for being with us, everybody. And this one's all about working fast and recovering, and so far it's Emma Lawson who sits atop the overall standings with 553 points, but she's only 7 points clear of Alexis Raptis. Ariel Lowen is within striking distance, as are Laura Horvath and Alex Gazan. Test number 8 is intervals.
2 intervals for total time. Down and back they go. 21 box jump overs, 15 Kel row, 9 burpee box jump overs. Rest at the 6-minute mark, they go again. Back down the floor. 2 rounds of 9 burpee box jump overs, Kel row, and box jump overs.
Recipe for success delivered by Trifecta. What do you got to do to smash this test?
More speed gives you more time to rest. However, you don't want a red line on the way out, Sean.
Let's send it down to Nikki Brazier on the floor.
Now guys, we are no stranger to 2-part tests here at the CrossFit Games, but in the past when we've seen them, each part has been worth 100 points in and of itself. And this test, both scores from down and back, the 2 intervals will be added together to complete one final score worth 100 points. So in the past, we've seen athletes game the system, maybe come out hot, try to score 100 points from themselves while mitigating the back half. But here, there's no room for error. Both parts count just as much.
10 women here in this 3rd and final heat, and your overall leader, Emma Lawson, will be in lane number 5.
Emma showing us she can run long and short. 7th in the 5K, 5th in Helena, 1st in the ride.
And Emily Rolfe coming off a test win in the 5K earlier this morning. Right now, 7th place overall. We are underway. We start with the 21 box jump overs. Unofficially, the time to beat belongs to Emma Carey. Around 8 minutes, 1 second total for both intervals. 90 total repetitions in each interval. Laura Horvath, left side of your screen in the all blue. She's worn the leader's jersey along with Alexis Raptis in lane 6. Now it's Lawson and Raptis to the row at the same time. Here comes Laura Horvath as well. So now 15 calories to complete here.
Transition matters, Sean. Those tiny little seconds accumulate at the end of this thing, and so getting in and out of the row or getting to the boxes as quickly as possible will make a difference in the end.
Gabby McGowan, who is making up ground on Emma Lawson. Lawson, your leader right now at the 36 rep mark, is when Lawson will be able to get up from that rower and move on to the 9 burpee box jump overs at 36 inches, and she is done. So Emma Lawson putting on a good pace here. Catherine Davidsdottir and Gabby McGowan, opposite ends of the floor, right behind her. Davidsdottir at the very bottom of your screen in the all black, McGowan at the very top in lane 1.
Here we see lots of different techniques taking place. They're getting off the floor quickly, but some are staying on their feet, some are sliding on their knees.
Catherine Davidsdottir coming in at 10th place overall right now. Emma Lawson is your overall leader. The 45 rep mark, she will be done, and now on to 21 more box jump overs. So Lawson, and now Ariel Lowen moving into 2nd with Gabby McGowan, Laura Horvath, and Catherine Davidsdottir. 8:01.67 seconds officially for Emma Carey is the top combined time for these 2 intervals.
And you see Catherine Davidsdottir there in the all black, making a move.
Gabby McGowan on screen right now, 9th place overall, trying to hold off Catherine Davidsdottir. She's only 3 points up on Davidsdottir for that spot, as Emma Lawson is onto the rower for the final time in this interval. 15 calories that she needs to complete here. Ariel Lowen, Gabby McGowan, Laura Horvath, Jamie Simmons, and Catherine Davidsdottir. Top 3 on the screen. On the left, it's Gabby McGowan. On the right, Ariel Lowen, and your overall leader, Emma Lawson. G-Shock is giving you the chance to win a new G-Shock watch, a CrossFit Level 1 seminar, and more than $400 in CrossFit swag. Terms and conditions apply. Emma Lawson is done, and now she's got 9 burpee box jumps remaining. Here comes Gabby McGowan in second place, Ariel Lowen in third, and Laura Horvath in fourth. Catherine Davidsdottir and Jamie Simmons getting to the box at the same time as well.
You see 2 different techniques being used here. Ariel Lowen in the blue tank top and green shorts, sliding on her knees, and our leader there on the left side of your screen, red shorts, white sports bra, kind of staying on her feet, nice and light, up and over, just getting right back down to the floor.
Final rep for Emma Lawson, and she is in. That will be the best time that we have seen out of any of these 3 heats, 3:53.67 seconds, and now Gabby McGowan is in. Ariel Lowen came across the finish line along with Jamie Simmons and Laura Horvath. Bethany Flores is in, and now Alexis Raptis will be the last woman to finish. Now, you got to get set to do it all over again. As the athletes take a break, let's go back down to Nikki Brazier.
We've seen a few different techniques when it comes to getting up and over that box, but Catherine Davidsdottir is the only athlete that I have seen do a full rotation coming up and over the box on each and every rep. Stacey, you've done this a few times in competition. How is she not getting dizzy?
That's just the thing. I don't understand either. I would prefer a lateral box jump over myself, but once you're in a groove, you just kind of roll with it. And maybe her world wasn't spinning after all.
The man will be up next. You're going to want to join us for heat number 1. 5-time participant on Earth, Matt Fraser, will be joining us. Getting set to start interval number 2 here in the 3rd and final heat for the women in test number 8. And it's Emma Lawson, your overall leader, who had the fastest time at 3:53.67 seconds. Not only the fastest time in that heat, but the fastest time we have seen in any heat from interval number 1. Take a look back at Emma Lawson on that first run down the floor, and she never trailed here.
She led the pace the entire way. She, with grace, actually just kind of hopped right off those feet, easily up and over the box. Power output on the row was exceptional. Looks recovered as she's standing here waiting for the next 2 rounds.
Emma Lawson, your overall leader. She has a test win in Ride on Thursday morning, the very first test of these 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games. Had the leader's jersey after that test, then relinquished it to Alexis Raptis, and then regained it on day number 2 yesterday.
10 seconds.
Getting set to start the 2nd and final interval for the women here in heat number 3, the 3rd and final heat of test number 8. And it's Emma Lawson in the middle of your screen wearing the white overall leader's jersey, who had the top time in the first interval at 3:53.67 seconds. We start with the 9 burpee box jump overs, 36 inches on that box. They can get over it however they want. They just cannot swing their feet out and around. Gabby McGowan had the 2nd best time, the only other woman to go sub-4 in interval number 1 at 3:59.43 seconds is Catherine Davidsdottir, the former 2-time champion. Now at the bottom of your screen is into the rower for the first time for 15 calories. Keep an eye on the scoring hat on the top of your screen. The athlete's name on the far left will be your heat leader, and the number in the white box next to that athlete's name will indicate how many repetitions she has completed. The number in the white box next to everyone else's name will indicate how many reps by which they trailed the leader. 90 total reps here in this 2nd interval. At the 24 mark is where Emma Lawson will be done. And she, once again, leading the way on this second interval. 21 box jump overs here. That box is 20 inches high. And here comes Ariel Lowen on the left side of your screen.
She's maintained that 3-4 rep lead throughout. Staying nice and low, jumping to the back of the box. Emma Lawson, white sports bra, red shorts, pivoting. Looking relaxed. You'll see her again sprint to this next tall box, get right to work.
Now the back half of the second and final interval for Emma Lawson. You level up your forwards, get 20% off standard or elite memberships at wildhealth.com. Use the code CrossFit Games. Emma Lawson, your overall leader by just 7 points over Alexis Raptis. The winner of the test will get 100 points. The second place gets 96, and so on and so forth as you work your way down the results. So Lawson trying to get some more breathing room when it comes to the battle for the top spot in the overall standings. And Lawson is done. She'll be first in the row. 15 more calories here.
You'll see her start pulling even without her other foot there in the strap. She just gets right to work.
8:01.67 seconds. That's your top time from Emma Carey in the prior heat. And now Jamie Simmons and Catherine Davids are getting to the rower. Ariel Lowen is there. She's right next to Emma Lawson in the green shorts and black top. There is now Ariel Lowen on the left side of the screen.
You can see Emma kind of getting back to the monitor. Her handle getting back to the monitor a little bit faster than Ariel Lowen. That means she's just taking a few more strokes per minute. In the end, that may help her accumulate more calories faster.
Emma Lawson on to the 21 box jumps. She's got to go up and over here 21 times and then across the finish line.
She's extending her lead here, Sean. She was 3-4 reps ahead the first round. She's now 8 reps ahead on this back half. Can we say she's getting faster?
It certainly does look like it. Ariel Lowen sits in second. This is Gabby McGowan on the left side of your screen in the all-black in third. But Lawson is getting set to finish up here, and she's looking to get her second test win of the CrossFit Games, and she will do it in convincing fashion. Sub-4 in both intervals for your overall leader. Now Ariel Lowen looks to be the next woman to finish. Lowen coming in third place overall, looking to keep herself in one of those podium spots. Now Gabby McGowan is in. Alexis Raptis is across. That's big for her. Here comes Jamie Simmons and now Laura Horvath. Catherine Davis' daughter finished. Emily Rolfe is in as well. But there is Emma Lawson, who looks to hang on to the leader's jersey heading into the final test of the day. That's test 9 tonight, the Olympic total when the heavy barbells come out onto the floor. That should be a lot of fun. But this is a lot of fun for Emma Lawson, led from the front the entire time.
She sure did. She made up ground on these 21 burpee box jump overs. Her transition was so fast between each of these movements. She looked so light on her feet. She got right to work on these 36-inch boxes. Looked at her judge like, did I do it? I did. And finishes first.
100 points for Emma Lawson. It's been a good day for Canada today. So far, 2 women from Canada have won the 2 tests. Emily Rolfe earlier today, and now Emma Lawson, and she is with Nikki Brazier.
Emma, you were an early leader and you managed to stay ahead through both of those intervals. What was your plan of attack for this test?
Honestly, didn't have a plan. I just kind of went as hard as I could and hoped that I was able to keep up on the second interval. And it worked out for me today, so I'm happy.
You came out here in this red and white leaders jersey. What kind of additional pressure does that put on you mentally?
I mean, of course, everyone's goal coming here is to wear the leaders jersey, so I'm just trying to do what I can. Yeah, whatever happens, happens.
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.